Anyways.
We're hopping on to TLF versus Complexity is our next. We're on the red zone here, guys. We're hopping right over. I'm so excited for this match.
This is going to be exciting. I mean, TLF had a rough series against Optic, but it's Optic. The problem is Complexity gave Optic a rough series yesterday as well, so you don't really know how this shapes up. Is Complexity playing as good as they were yesterday? Because I think yesterday they were playing the best Halo they ever had.
People have been sleeping on Complexity, let's be completely honest, and they were a team coming into Season 3 that was expected to place within that top 4, maybe top 6 range, and this could be the event that they do just that. Starting off this series, their last match in pool play, already up 1-0.
Up 1-0 in CTF. Next, Rockets and OS coming up in 14 seconds here, and then Snipers 30 seconds after that. So this next couple sequences, highly consequential here. So many items in the sandbox that you need to make sure you're alive to contest. Right now, though, Rammy's going to try to throw a monkey wrench in the plan of Complexity. Just getting the flag out kind of splits their attention, right? They have to worry about Rammy in the back of their base at the same time that the Rockets and OS are coming up. Sometimes that can make it a little bit easier for TLF to get the items.
Oh, Complexity so good off their back foot. They had previously been 4 down, and it seemed like TLF had set up a good-looking counter cap. Instead, Complexity earned their next team wipe, and now Huss is pushing in with the Rockets, but goes down, leaves one tube on the ground. All the while, Breakingshot has another flag. He's run both into the base flawlessly so, and it's already 2-0.
Wow, well played. The play by Rammy just does not amount to anything. He just ended up out of the play. You have to think that maybe TLF overextended in that moment. Sometimes you've got to just hold the mid-map, play the 50-yard line, and make sure you get the Rockets in or the OS, at least get one of the two. They gave both to Complexity. The Rockets aren't even consequential, but they still get a cap out of it.
Breakingshot, you just switch to his POV, and what do you know, he's running the flag, and he's known for scoring frags on the board, and look at that, he actually still is. Despite 2 scores, 2 times up and down the map on the pit, he's got 9 slays, the most for his team, leading the way like we know for Breakingshot. He's the damage dealer, but despite that, he's still hitting flag runs, and Rammy hitting no scopes, gets his team back in the mix, now controlling that 50-yard line, starting to earn time and space, and some more slays.
That was actually a disgusting, though. So for Rammy, if he doesn't hit that shot, he's dead 100% of the time. He gets taken down, though, and Haines has a flag on the move. Haines 11-5 already. He's actually the most outstanding performer in the lobby, despite Complexity being up by 2 right now.
And he was in that Optic series, too, so Haines came to play this morning, despite it not being gamer hours just yet. Haines is gaming, has that flag right at the steps of a score, making it just a 1-point match. But he goes down, so too does Yakzn. 3 go down, though, for Complexity, and I believe, no, despite Comet going down, Rammy's going to clutch up. That was a huge win. Wasn't a piv in the sense that he needed to outright take all of his shields with 5 shots, cleaned up on the damage, and cleans up on that flag run. It's now 2-1. Complexity still in the lead.
TLF showing signs of life. So important to do so. You don't want to lose 3-0 in your first match, especially after losing 3-0 in the prior series. So, like what I'm seeing from Team Lethal Fox, I don't like that we're all bottom runway, though. OS is not up for another 15 seconds. You want to be down there later, not earlier. Get there too early and you might get collapsed on. So it will re-enter the sword side. Common trades out, opens the door for his teammate, Rammy, to be in position for this OS. He's also feeling pretty comfortable since he has the repulsor, knows that nobody else on the map has it. And let's see if TLF can get some value out of this one.
Complexity grabs the Rockets, but Rammy makes sure to retain that repulsor, so not only does he have the overshield to protect himself from that additional explosive damage, he could send it right back to Complexity, and I believe that's what he's setting up here on the green hall. Pushing through, is on their side of the map, but he's taking a lot of shots. All of the attention on Rammy. He is able to take down Rayne, but loses that OS, still retains the repulsor, and TLF are setting up for what looks like another run.
I like this play from Rammy. Doesn't know this player's on the top, though, and that was Ryan with the rocket launcher.
How did he not die?
He still has another rocket to work with, by the way, and he's got that repulsor in the pocket, so he knows he can comfortably get another kill with it.
RyaNoob, nerdy with that angle. Look at where the rocket explosion was. That's right within his footsteps, and he still stays alive. I thought for sure would have taken the splash damage to potentially go down, but he regains and still has control of those rockets. Now putting shots into Rammy on the green hall. Flag goes out for TLF. But Haines goes down. Rammy, again, this has been a consistent theme I'm seeing, Eli. Rammy's routinely been the last player alive for TLF, but there's not much he can do on Complexity's side of the map. Like you said, he's almost being caught out in some cases.
Wants to be the tip of the spear and make an opening for his squad to push up. I think how did he not die to that rocket? I'm not sure. I mean, we did see the play before. By the way, one of the patch notes that doesn't get talked about a lot, they did actually nerf the AoE damage of the rocket in the last patch that slowed down the bandit. And yeah, we're actually seeing the effects of that nerf here. But And I don't know, it does feel like the way TLF are playing, they're trying to force openings. I think in some cases it's working, in some cases it's not. But it's actually not a bad thing. You know, you give yourself this many chances to pull the flag, eventually one of them's gonna work out.
You got to get Yakzn back to being Yakzn like we see in those HCS Open Series. He is routinely the one leading the way in Slays, now routinely at the bottom of the leaderboard. Even in that Optic series, I noticed that as well. Won again, a couple of PIV wins, but not able to put it together routinely and consistently enough to keep TLF in the fight here, though, against Complexity. They're giving him a good one, still only down 1, less than 5 to go.
Haines gets trapped in the Mauler side and still somehow stays alive. He's been one-shot multiple times, finally gets taken down, but just staying alive for as long as he has made it very easy for the rest of his squad to push through. And now, finally, the base of Complexity has been cleared, but when the items are coming up, they need to get a few slays.
Nice quick scope there from Rayne, takes down Rammy. High in common, but Huss has his back instead. 3 go down for TLF, so you're gonna see that wave of Complexity push on through the sword side, the green hall, maybe even the long hall as well. But some spawns close up for TLF, get them back in the fight and already contesting the 50-yard line.
Complexity should have had all the items. Yeah, we've got Rammy here with the rockets. Had to burn 1 to kill the player that killed RyaNoob. And no, it looks like when he gets taken down, Breakingshot still has plenty of OS. He must have held on to this. I don't know how he has this much OS on this side of the map.
The rocket hit him, but it did a quarter of OS damage. It barely took down his shield. So 3 instances, Eli, where we've seen that AoE effect. Not do much damage with the rockets. A lot of damage being dealt here for Complexity, and that will be the final nail in the coffin for game number 1 as Complexity take it 3-1.
So interesting, right? I think that's the only map now that has the rockets. It's the only map that we play with rockets, so we don't see the effects of that nerf that frequently, but it was clearly put on display in that match.
Can we talk about how Complexity has been playing? If they win this, they get first place in their pool. They defeated Quadrant and Optic and potentially, maybe now TLF too.
And I think they play Sentinels in winter round 1. If Sentinels were to still get top 2 in their pool, because I know that's a little mixy now after they got 3-0'd by the open bracket team. There's a lot up in the air right now.
So Complexities, do you think they're performing better? Optic, Quadrant go down to Complexity. I know we hadn't seen them play or perform as well in previous events, and in this event, they're looking good in the pool.
Well, that was fun. Thanks for giving us a sneak peek of that, Nighty Night and Louie, Isaac, all behind the scenes. The wonderful production team here with LBT to make sure you guys don't miss any of the action. Back on board here with our main matchup of the morning, Complexity versus TLF. TLF in the lead right now in the Slayer, 6-7.
It's not looking bad so far. Early goings can always be pretty even, but we'll usually see some separation going into the 30s or so. Now that OS is top center, this game type plays a lot differently. You've got to start playing towards R3 and P2 probably at least 30 to 45 seconds before each of these come up. So that's right now. It's 10:40 on the clock. You got to start thinking we need to be in control of top center at the time we hit the 10-minute mark.
Oh my God!
Win this fight.
Complexity set up preemptively, not only for that overshield, Eli, the power up the sandbox, but the bait and switch. You can see both diabolically sitting in the corner, just waiting for TLF to make their move. And once they saw 1 foot, 1 toe of that player approach through the doorway, they earned the bait and switch flawlessly. Nobody went down for Complexity in that sequence. They earned 3 slays from that bait and switch.
Breakingshot trying to hold down card 3 with the plasma pistol. Does enough damage to get the trade out. Now just 5 seconds for the OS. Complexity should be earning mid-map here. Looks like 2 members of Complexity, card 3, and no one from TLF really in position to contest this. They're going to have to shoot from the base, but it's not going to be enough. Complexity will secure that OS.
All started with that bait and switch. They earned the 3 slays, earned mid-map control, and now have the overshield, and it's Rayne with it. Some cross-map shots into Rammy. They're good enough to send him back, and Rayne continues on forward, sensing some weak opponents, finishes off the shots he initially took onto Rammy, and now Complexity are starting to roll up by 4, now 5.
It's a scary position. TLF, they're going to be spawning in one of the bases here, right? So when you spawn in the base, you've really got to earn space systematically. You can't force it on either side. I like that Haines stops at the door. He's not passing the line of scrimmage, knows that if he overextends in that moment, he's likely to die. They also fight out on the car side at the same time that Haines holds his attention. So this is actually a great push out from TLF. If they can secure another kill, they could probably get control of top center.
Think about how Dominantly, this speaks to Complexity's map control, Eli, in that line of scrimmage starts at the 50-yard line where the overshield is, but now it's been pushed all the way into the blue base. Haines still with his back against the wall, not many options to move out from, and Rayne continues to take whatever comes his way. Complexity are masterfully playing through this game too.
You see what Rayne just did there as well? He noticed that Huss died car 3, so instead of holding the line P2, he said, no, my powers are needed on the car side, so he completely rotates across, and now this is exactly what his team needed in the moment, and this is why Rayne is such a good player. He's been at the top ever since he started playing this game.
Rayne back with his duo, RyaNoob, and maybe back on top of the HCS. Did win potentially, and the generator, my God, takes down Haines. Rayne +6 right now in this sequence on a killing spree. But despite that, TLF are keeping it close.
Whoa.
Just as I say that, though, it gets back to that 4-kill lead. Now, Eli, this is one of the most important moments in the match. It's getting close to the 30s, and Complexity have the opportunity to turn it from a 4-kill lead to a 5-kill lead, which would need 2 possessions, 2 team wipes to come back. A little bit of an odd point of view there as we're back into the mix.
No, you're exactly right, though. This is a very crucial part of the game. TLF actually played that situation very well. The roles were reversed, right? It was Complexity stuck in the base momentarily, but somehow they fought out perfectly. They got the OS. We just see the plasma charge go out, and that's on the ground now, so Huss knows he's not going to get immediately depleted by the charge shot, and now he can just freely push into the blue base. They are starting to roll with some aggression here.
The overshield control has been so dominant here for Complexity. Every time it's come up, Complexity have earned it. I believe they're 3 for 3 at this point. Huss looking to earn a double kill with the help of that overshield. Only gets 1 though, but he does take down Rammy to weak enough to where he can get cleaned up. Breakingshot didn't need any of that damage as he earns the back smack instead. And Complexity have just been inching their way through this match, continuously holding on to that 4-kill lead. But again, the 5th kill would make it a 2-possession game, and going into the 40s, that puts TLF into a chokehold.
The level of aggression that they're playing with, it's almost impossible to not trade out every kill along the way, right? Like, just keep holding forward. We're going to trade out at a very high frequency, just like this. RyaNoob pushes in, cleans up the double. Yeah, his 2 teammates died during that, but who cares? You're keeping that lead. You now have a 5-kill lead, actually, and you can comfortably get back to mid-map. TLF spawning in blue base. This does not look good at all for Team Lethal Fox.
TLF got to have the next 2 kills to bring it back to within a 1-possession, 1-team wipe game. The next 2 kills go to Complexity. They bust it open to a 2-team wipe lead, and this would be all but over. Now 7 is what separates these 2 teams. Complexity are continuing to roll on TLF. Once up 4, now up by nearly double digits as they're feeling good. And like you said, Eli, they can play for trades the rest of the way.
Love what I just saw from RyaNoob as well. The squad spawns are heavily prevalent on this map. Like, yes, they won that engagement in the base, but RyaNoob completely cleared the outer perimeter just in case TLF got a squad spawn in the card side. And that's so smart. If he doesn't do that and he's not aware of the squad spawn mechanic, they could have just spawned behind him, but he's playing in a way to mitigate that possibility.
Important right here. This is big. TLF get it back to within 4, and 1 fell swoop in the end game could bring them back in this fight. As Rammy makes his way through into the yellow base, multiple members of Complexity weak. This is their chance to bait and switch. This is their chance to pinch, and they execute like we saw previously from Complexity. TLF are coming back.
It's actually exactly what they needed right now. RyaNoob's also trapped on the car side, but he's got help. Rayne also finishes a kill on the other side. Ryan sees a window of opportunity despite being weak, knows that he can push through and finish that kill. And that might just win in this game.
RyaNoob known for playing this game so methodically, sometimes even slow, but I'm impressed with his adaptation in Season 3 to push on the gas when his team needs it. That's what we just saw there as he continues to push his way through the next slay that he could earn. A trade would be fine here, but Rammy takes him down outright. It's a 4-kill lead, so again, that 1 fell swoop opportunity is within reach for TLF, but they can't go down anymore. 49-45.
Only 1 death left to work with. Common finds a kill. They're still alive for now. RyaNoob's also trapped P1. Haines got to be a little bit careful here. He does not want to get caught off guard. I'm surprised he is checking some corners here. Probably going to be content to hold car 3, and looks like RyaNoob's location is known. There is a grenade you can throw through the back wall here. Yeah, so you see him look through the crack there momentarily. There is an opening that you can actually see through and throw grenades through on that right side. I'm surprised that he's content to stay here. Now maybe just pushing forward, knowing that it's unlikely they expect this play, which it might just work out.
Interesting formation here for Complexity. Breakingshot goes down. First strike goes to TLF, and they can collapse here with the numbers advantage. Shield advantage too. Rayne down to 1 HP, but wisely regains his shields. But RyaNoob, wiser than all of us here, with his many years in Halo competition, earns the final slay. Complexity take a 2-0 series lead.
I think what Ryan just did there was he just kind of creeped and crawled his way all the way behind them and said, yeah, just go ahead and get in a fight. I'll just kill the guy that you weaken. It's totally fine. Like, just give them some bait and I'll finish the game. So very well played in-game there by Complexity.
Complexity looking still very good, but I'll say Team Lethal Fox did give it their all on that Aquarius match. But what did Complexity do here to not let Team Lethal Fox do what they were trying to get done in the Slayer?
I gotta give it to RyaNoob, man. The guy is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers, and it's just crazy to see. I truly feel like he's been in the league for such a long time, but he's always been that mind, and I think he doesn't get the respect he deserves. He still has the individual skill, I think, to contend with a lot of these players, but then when you have that mind where you're wise enough to make these play calls, like you said, slow playing that piece out. He was trapped there, but he doesn't show himself, he doesn't react off the nades, slow plays, makes the play, and takes the opening.
I'm with you on that, Tim. You know, I think RyaNoob does deserve some flowers right now because not only has he made his team Complexity better, I'd argue he's made the entire HCS more competitive and better as well. Thinking about all the young players that have come through, whether it's Shopify Rebellion or Complexity, I think of a guy like Descendant, perfect example, Cycle, another great example. He has really shepherded them through the dark alleyways and difficult dips and valleys of HCS competition and shepherded these players through to what we see today, and they're some of the best in the world. So not only has RyaNoob made Complexity better, he's made the all-around competition better here in Halo. Got to give him props for that.
We had a chat with him a while ago on LVT, and I believe I remember him mentioning that they just needed some time to get everything, together, and it looks like this might be their time here in Salt Lake City. They're looking strong. It looks like everything is going their way. For Team Lethal Fox here, I think they really needed to win that Slayer, and I'm not sure how they will do with this. How do you think they'll fare in another objective game against Complexity?
I think this is actually one of Complexity's best game types, if I'm being completely honest. Like, they have beat some of the best teams in the world in this game type. I recall one of the most exciting games that I've ever watched was Complexity versus Optic, when they made that trip to Mordor with the edit that I think Freezy put together, where they spawn A, go all the way through gold, through long haul, and then dive to trip stacks, and then secure the last hill with like seconds remaining. Like, I don't know, Complexity knows every single nuance and what to do in every moment in this game mode. Not to say Team Lethal Fox doesn't, but I think this is going to be tough.
What really impresses me, and I think Tony brought this up, is in the HCS, in year 3, we see these like powerhouse rosters. You see Renegade, Frosty, FaZe is one of them, right? Powerhouse rosters that have crazy amounts of individual skill. When I look at Complexity, I don't see that. I see Breakingshot, who's an up-and-comer, who's got that slayability, but I see a lot more mental in the game, a different way to look at the game. And like I said, the meta has just been slide and fire. That's just it.
Yeah.
Push through, get the kills. Now, Complexity are changing things up a bit, and they're catching a couple people off guard.
Yeah, and as we approach a King of the Hill for this game 3, think back to what we saw previously from Pure, where with 1:45 left on the clock, they baited and milked out 45 seconds to completely obliterate any chance of coming back in this game. RyaNoob and Complexity wrote the book on that, so I see that again here in this series.
I wouldn't doubt that they have an exact situation down, written and prepared for something like that happening, and here we are. That same game we're talking about starts now.
Here we go. Haines has the first shock rifle. That's a good omen. Not sure what happened with the camo off the rip here. But yeah, Haines not going to be able to live for very long. Rayne content to just get hill time for now. Probably knows that shock rifle is there. But this opening hill, keep an eye on both teams fighting for control of the elevator space. Now that the hill is almost completed by Complexity, they might start to migrate towards that C side, feeling confident that they can win it from this side and then also be set up for next, as we see Rayne here on C flat. And if RyaNoob can just stay alive here, this hill could be over quickly, but no, he also does get taken down.
Hill time, a high priority here in the early goings of this one. Just 16 seconds off the clock in regulation, and we're on the brink of seeing Complexity take hill number 1. But Common's in it for now, with 5 slays leading the lobby, slaying out now, earning some objective time. Grapples up to his left, but he's got to worry about RyaNoob with a nerdy nade, takes him down. Huss takes down Rammy. Complexity should take hill number 1.
Here we go. They've also already got some presence in the long haul side. RyaNoob quickly getting to top gold. This position, by the way, good for basically every hill in the entire rotation. I mean, of course, once the hill is over here and you don't have teammates on this side, you've got to play here first, but gold is like a complementary position to every single hill setup on this map. So one thing I noticed about Complexity is they try to keep at least one player occupying that space or contesting that space throughout the entire game.
RyaNoob does have one Shroud screen to work with, so could use that. Find some more cover, find some more space, but Haines has one better in the form of that camo. He's looking to gather some intel, find the opposition for Complexity. Has the back a 1. Can't line up close enough to get the back smack. Does take down Breakingshot with the shots, and now TLF have the opening break they need to push through, but you gotta keep Haines alive with this camo, get maximum value out of it.
Haines making this very smart rotation, gets behind these two opponents in the tower, has help as well, so they're gonna aggressively push through. Very nice herb slide there, and bait and switch from the team, but Complexity still holding strong. Huss now last player alive though, and looks like some good hill time on the board coming up for TLF.
Big win there for Common. It looked like Breakingshot had the turn on him and was about to take down 2, but instead, Common wins it and earns that next bit of time for TLF, but Yakzn goes down in it. Now Rayne occupying that space. After Common goes down, Complexity have all the slays they need. 3 go down. Rammy again, the last player alive for TLF, and Complexity might just go up 2-0.
What looked like a great situation for TLF to bounce right back. Complexity squash it in an instant. Yakzn has a shock rifle, but no angle to really put it to work. Looks like Common does aggressively fight through the front door. And TLF, they just have to, at this point, hold on to both the tower and long haul sides. You've got to just hold the line, not let Complexity through. And this is very impressive that Common's getting this much hill time while he had 2 dead teammates.
TLF might just tie things up. Common needs to win a clutch piv. Reversal perfy at that, as RyaNoob, though, cleans up on it with the shock rifle, takes down 1 with the nade instead. Oh, making a triple kill! Oh my God, RyaNoob with a filthy play to earn Complexity a 2-0 lead.
That was disgusting and so clutch. Like, that was as clutch as you could possibly be. He's launching himself into the hill to contest it, kills both players, turns around, no-scopes the next guy while one shot. I mean, that was a play of the weekend.
Triple kills are nice, Eli. We love it because it looks sick. But oh my God, Rayne one better with the overkill extermination potential. Kill tag, no, he goes down. But my God, Complexity with a back-to-back montage play, triple into an overkill. But like I was saying, Eli, it's nice to get the Jeff Steitzer announcement, but it's even nicer to turn that into time as Complexity are dominating in the slays, dominating in the OBJ, up 2-0.
That was insane. I wish we could have seen exactly how Haines did that. It looked like he was in that top goal position I mentioned when he got it, but this is just looking bad for Team Lethal Fox. I mean, you start to feel like everything you do is just being countered every step of the way. Like I said, Complexity love this game type. They know what you're going to go for. They know how to counter it. They know how to play ahead. They're always thinking 30 to 45 seconds ahead, and that's what makes them so difficult to play against.
Again, that's a credit to their coach, Ashes. Complexity come into this tournament looking so damn prepared, and it's paying off in multiple fortunes as they've won multiple series against teams that might have been surprised to see. Again, Optic earlier in 3-0 fashion, no less. Complexity about to earn another 3-0 sweep. What's new?
I mean, to be honest, this series is just looking like a victory lap for them, right? They already beat Optic and Quadrant. Those were their #1 foes that they were looking to conquer. And now at this point, TLF, this is just, hey, let's just stay warm and be ready for bracket when we get that first seed in the pool. It's not often that we see a 3rd seed come out on top like that in any of these pools at any tournament.
I can't recall seeing a 3rd seed play this well in pools ever. Now, granted, it's not about how you play in pools, but pools does set the tone for how you want to perform in the championship bracket, which we are just hours away from. Feels like minutes even at that, as we are getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Champ bracket just about to start. We'll know who's in winner bracket. We'll know who's in lower bracket. For now, TLF forming a little bit of a comeback from there on. This reminds me of what it felt like in Game 2, but Complexity shut the door on that. Will they do the same here? And it looks like TLF might just make it 2-1. Still plenty of time left on the clock.
The thing is, when Complexity give a hill, it's always for a reason. They are still fighting for this, though. Looks like they were not content to completely throw it and go for next. I don't see any reason to do so, but at the same time, whenever they do give a hill to the other team, they're always ready for the next.
Massive win there for Rammy. Retains control of the camo and the shot. Now he's got a montage moment of his own, the triple kill. Free firing for the over, but that player's not going to peek. And TLF do make it again a contested game in the end game. Can they ice up and execute the same way we've seen from Complexity, though? Rammy on a spree.
So impressive there. Knew that RyaNoob was likely to be rotating to that sneaky side. Went ahead and call out from his teammate, but absolutely ready to shut him down. And now he's facing pressure from both the front and the back. Looks like Complexity pushing both sides of the hill, and it's not the position you want to find yourself in this game, as Complexity have secured that long haul side. RyaNoob gets the double kill. And I like this play from Rayne. So he actually extends all the way to A to block the elevator spawn, so they can force the spawns of TLF into gold, which is probably the hardest place to play out of as long as they're in the right positions.
Tremendous technical halo on display here from Complexity, and that was big taking down Rammy previously. He was on a heater, on a tear, earned TLF their first points. He was the first strike, and after that, all 4 went down, and that's 2 times in a row. That same sequence occurs. Now Complexity looking to build on their lead.
Ryan knows the next set of spawners is going to spawn an elevator. Look at that. They're spawning right behind his reticle. Ready to shoot the plasma grenade, but looks like TLF too smart. Not going to let that. Not going to let themselves become a free kill. Yakzn finds a double on the other side. That's massive. That could be the open door TLF needed to push through long haul. It's explode. Sticky comes out, but I think the projection of the second nade was a little bit too far to kill that player. TLF actually looked pretty decent to tie this up. They've got to hold off a couple waves of Complexity spawners, though.
TLF are keeping it close. Making Complexity sweat a little bit here as Rammy in possession of the hill. Oh my God, peek and pop shots, takes down Breakingshot. As 2 go down for Complexity, TLF with more numbers advantage, and they might just tie this game up.
Rammy is playing insane, 20 and 15. Only player on his team that's even positive. He does get taken down. They don't need much time, though. This looks like they're about to close it.
TLF have done it. And with 97 seconds left, it is a 2-2 match. Complexity going to have to show more of that endgame execution if they want to earn the series sweep.
Very curious to see how Complexity play this hill. In my opinion, this hill has multiple different ways that you can set up. You could either hold gold in A and let the other team spawn, or sorry, you could either hold C in A and let the other team spawn gold, or you could hold C in gold and let the other team spawn A. And either one can be highly successful. You just have to have the correct timing and predictive ability to know which side they are spawning on.
Double kill.
It looks like they just wanted to get some kills before they set foot, and now they've left C open. You see Rayne pinging it there to let his teammates know to maybe fill that space. Yes, okay, so they're opting for the C in gold version of the setup, which is very powerful. The players in gold are going to watch these players as they try to exit A.
A spawns for TLF, and they're looking to push their way through to the White Hall, White Tower. Haines goes down, 2 down for Complexity though, so TLF have a chance to earn some numbers advantage, turn that into hill time. As Rayne goes down, 3 go down for Complexity like we previously saw from TLF. Complexity turned that into 25% or so. Can TLF do the same?
Have to see what strategy they employ should they get control. The more successful iteration, I think, is the one where you spawn the enemies in gold. They have to jump out batteries, they get very exposed. Huge piv from Yakzn. If he loses that, his team is probably having a much rougher time holding off this push. And yes, this is exactly what they go for. They're going to let Complexity spawn in gold. I like these plays.
TLF, to answer that question, get the exact same amount of time, maybe even just a peaky toe more from their 3-down execution like we had previously saw from Complexity. And Yakzn is playing his life so well. He's been beeping with no shields for the past 30 seconds, it feels like. Previously took down RyaNoob, now continuing to put in damage to members of Complexity. Not looking for slays, just looking to support.
And here we go. He is finally forced to drop down. He does get taken down by Rayne. RyaNoob getting some free hill time while Rayne picks up a double kill. And this lead could be the difference. This could be the game-winning hill. With just 25 seconds on the clock, this might just decide it.
It's got to be. With that C platform so exposed, I don't see the chance to do so with just 20 seconds left in regulation. This is the game right here, and it could be the series if RyaNoob earns this double onto Haines. He earns the assist nonetheless. 2 go down for TLF. Just 2 more seconds needed for Complexity, and they will in fact secure their 3rd score and likely the 3-0 series sweep.
Did you see that? Ryan got out on purpose so that the hill would be, he could burn more time off the clock and ensure that his team had control of A before the hill was completed, just to absolutely guarantee it. Because had they capped it as soon as they could, TLF were in position to possibly earn the next hill. Ryan played it in a way that's basically checkmate. This guy plays chess before the match starts, and it's showing.
Try as they might, it's not enough for the likes of RyaNoob and Complexity as they will again ice up in the end game. TLF made it close. TLF was a 1-point game in the flag. It was a 4-kill game in the Slayer. Just a close game here in the hill as well. Each of those scenarios, Complexity had the better execution. Very impressive end game performance from them.
I would say Complexity has been obviously performing really well, but I don't think Team Lethal Fox made it easy at all. I think they just performed very well considering that they went all 4 down multiple times, and I think that was their demise. And guys,